Hey everyone, my name is Nina, and welcome to another episode of the Lion City Wrestling Cult podcast. And today, let's talk wrestling with the statement, Andruew Tang, five-time.
Yeah, five times.
Yeah, he's the five-time SPW Southeast Asia champion and also the co-founder of Singapore Pro Wrestling. Hi, Andrew. Thank you so much for being here.
It's an honor to be here. Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, I mean, you're a busy guy, so I'm glad to get this time to talk wrestling with you. And I'm sure you have tons of wrestling stories since you've been in this business since 2011, right?
2012, we started pro wrestling. So yeah, but in 2011 was still training and stuff. But 2012, we officially started Singapore Pro Wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
and
remember
I
the
mean,
6th of February 2012.
wha-
Was the building at Jusing, but I can't remember the name really. It's quite a while back. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think I went to one of your early shows actually. Um,
Hmm.
I cannot remember what matches. It was so long ago, but
Yes.
it was so fun to see like you just come down and then it was like some sort of a community club hall and then
Yes, that
in
was
the
our
corner.
second venue. That was our second place. It was at Euro CC,
Ah,
Kampong Ubi CC. Yeah,
yes,
that was
yes,
like
yes.
infancy when we first started. Yeah, I remember we go through the curtains and oh man, it's yeah. I mean, looking back, man, it's good memories, man. But I mean, we came from a long way from that to now. Like what we've built. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I'm pretty sure the wrestlers that I watched that day, most of them probably no longer wrestling anymore, right? And then, but yeah, like it was so cool to know that you're still doing this, and the standard of the standard of the shows even is as improved definitely tremendously since then, and it's really nice to see that now when you're in your kind of current home of shows at Fuchao Building, like
Yep.
the quality of production, is yeah, it's you guys have definitely come a long way. So it's really nice to see that.
Yeah, we came a long way, definitely. I mean, I believe, for us, I always feel like, for pro wrestling, like, it's always like, you need to have that glitz and glamour, that smokes, the lights, because it's all a show, you need to make it the whole presentation there. And so that's why, like, the fans are, like, paying that money to actually watch the whole presentation. Like, I'm always someone with, I always feel like visual is so important. So it's like, for example, if you watch a MMA fight in maybe I don't know. So maybe like let's say the Evolve MMA show, house show, so with no lights and stuff, the feeling is different compared to like One FC, right? Like with
Yeah,
the whole theatrics, it's
exactly.
the whole presentation. You're paying for the whole presentation, the setup, stuff like that. It adds that value and then to the whole product. This is my philosophy lah. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I can see that. I mean, SPW, like I've been to like the three different promotions in Singapore. Like SPW does stand out in terms of the way that you present your shows. Um, like we come in and then there's like the lights and all that. It's a more dim lit setting and all that. It feels like, oh, it's a huge production. Like you're going to a WWE show really at the
Mm,
indoor stadium kind of feel, but actually
mm.
it's just a smaller venue. But I think that's pretty cool. And speaking of like the glitz and glamour, I think that also seeps into your character. So maybe we can talk about your wrestling persona before we go into your other roles in
My,
SPW.
my wrestling persona, I mean, like for me, all my life I always want to be the center of attention, like a center of attraction as well. So whether it's inside the ring, outside the ring, whatever I do, I want to leave a statement. But of course, like, as you can see, lah, I like to party hard, I like to drink, I like to wrestle hard. Same like Ric Flair, he's my role model. A lot of people might say like, oh, Ric Flair is not really a very good role model for pro wrestlers, but I mean, this guy, he's a cockroach, lah. Somehow or rather he can't die. He parties so hard. Did you watch the documentary on the Ric Flair on Disney Plus? It's actually quite touching, and I tell you, it's this guy he's remarkable. This guy is
Oh,
so
where is this documentary?
Disney
Is it
Plus. Disney
recently?
Plus. No, it's been around for quite a while already, but I think it's by
Okay, okay.
ESPN. Yeah, you should watch the
Okay,
documentary,
okay.
man. Like
All
Ric
right, I'll
Flair,
check it out.
this guy is on another level. Like he like I think like it's a story that Traxxas told me, like Dante Chen. So his coach is the Red Rooster, Terry. I can't remember his name, Terry. I can't remember his
Mm-hmm.
and name again. So apparently,
Yeah.
like he was telling me like the story, like he had a title match. He's supposed to have a title match with Ric Flair. So
Uh-huh.
Ric Flair like came to the arena dead drunk, like in literally like someone had to like wheel him in the wheelchair, and then he was like telling Terry to like, you just get me a coffee, just get me a coffee now. And then Terry's like, what the hell? We are doing a main event, and like, why is he asking me to get coffee? So he got him the coffee. He drank the coffee, all right, and then like he says, so what's going to do in the match? Don't worry, just follow my lead, just follow my lead. And then when Ric Flair walked through the curtain, he was Ric Flair, man. And like Terry said, he got blown up. He got literally like blown up from that match with Ric Flair, man. The guy's a legend, man. Like, the guy can really go, lah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
personality.
Personality. Because I always believe like in wrestling, personality is number one. Like, people remember you for
Mm-hmm.
your character. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not I mean wrestling is important, but the
Mm-hmm.
character is more important, so that like the fans can really like embrace and know like, oh, I can relate to you, like, oh, I can hate you, I can love you. That's the important thing, like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, as a wrestling fan, like, I see characters as well. It's memorable, right? And
Yeah.
definitely, like, I think SPW is full of that. There's distinct
Mm-hmm.
characters, distinct personalities, and that's what makes the show stand out as well. It's not
Yeah.
just the wrestling aspect.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. Of course, the wrestling must be good, lah. If the wrestling is
Yeah.
bad, then I
Yeah, for
mean,
sure.
why would I want to pay money to watch shit
Exactly.
wrestling, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
needs to be believable, right? Yeah.
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 So it's a
So
good
like,
balance, lah.
yeah, so like you can see lah, so like that's why for me I like to always stand out, like my gear is always flashy. I like that blazer. Like I think the blazer come along when I was a huge fan of Brian Kendrick as well, Spanky Brian Kendrick.
Ah.
So he
Mm-hmm,
came out with
mm-hmm.
that blazer, and then he came out
Yeah.
with the Ezekiel Jackson kind of thing. Like he's very
Yeah.
small, it's very cocky. Yeah, so it's like that lah. I always emulate my style.
Ah.
So somehow or rather, I emulate. Like I got the inspiration from him
Mm.
as well with the blazer
Okay,
thing. Yeah,
now that you mentioned Brian Kendrick, yeah, I can totally see that. Like, I've always assumed that you were more into like the Ric Flair, like maybe during that, that generation. But yeah, like Brian Kendrick, now I totally see it. It's interesting. What are other influences that you take?
I don't know. For me, I actually like power style of wrestling. So actually, you can
Ah,
see like
okay.
for me, I'm a small guy, but I don't do a
Yeah,
lot of flips and stuff, right? Because I
yeah.
can't flip because I don't want to take the risk. And like I try and do a couple of back flips before, like on a trampoline and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I land on my neck, and it's not a good feeling. Like somehow or rather,
Mm.
I really think I'm a cockroach. I mean, I took a lot of bumps before in my life, but somehow or rather I can't die. But yeah, I always like to push myself to the limit. But I like the power style of wrestling. So actually, if you can see like some stuff, when I do inside the ring, I do a lot of power moves and stuff.
Yeah.
And I can lift like big guys as well, 120, 130 kilos. So it's
Yeah.
not an issue. Yeah. So like I think I'm pound for pound one of the toughest wrestlers in Singapore for my weight. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Yeah. I mean, like, who cares about like, oh, you're the small guy, but I mean, I think because the way you present yourself, it makes you look bigger, that kind of stuff. And I mean, like people like to talk about like, oh, small wrestlers. Singaporeans are so small in general. Like,
Yeah.
they look down on that, but it doesn't matter. I think.
Yeah, I think it's like if you can leave some guy, you can leave some guy. I mean, it's still a remarkable kind of thing. Like I mean, like
Exactly.
when I go to Japan, like I remember like when I wrestled for GLEAT, it was I think that was it's not quite a bad match, but I mean I was in a wrong place, in a wrong time because the
Mm.
whole match, the whole card was
Uh-huh.
by BGI, Black Generation International. So they are all Mexicans and they're all high
Okay.
flyers. They're all high
Okay.
flyers. Everyone is like spot, zoom, 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 spot, boom, boom, boom,
Mm.
zoom. So I was also doing like my hurricanranas and stuff like this. But I mean, how can my like 8 Caesars or hurricanrana compare to what they can do
Yeah.
because they are so fast? You
Right.
know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah, I mean it was okay, but the loudest pop that I got was when I lift up Hartley Jackson. Hartley Jackson is this like huge 120, 30 kilos Australian
Ooh.
fellow. He used to be a trainer at the WWE Performance Center as well. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But when I
Okay.
lift him up, the pop was like, whoa, yeah, 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 really, really. So I think it's like, I mean, for pro wrestling, I think it's a case to case basis. So it really depends on where you wrestle, and then like how the fans will actually like. You need to wrestle to the style that the fans want. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I really think like lifting up, doing power moves, I think is fine as long as I can do it. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Can I ask you? You don't have to answer this. But are you wrestling full time? Like, are you a full time wrestler? Can you call
Yeah,
yourself that?
yeah. Right now, I'm a full time wrestler, lah. Yeah, yeah. Just
Okay.
trying to focus and try to do more wrestling, but sometimes I'm a little bit lazy, lah. So, yeah, 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 yeah.
When did you start becoming a full time wrestler?
I mean, initially when I first started, I was doing full time wrestling, and then that
Oh,
was
you were
yeah,
already
yeah.
okay.
Before COVID, then after COVID, times were a little bit hard, so I branched out a
Mm.
little bit into personal training here and there. And I do love
Mm.
personal training. Personal training is good, money is good, but somehow or rather, I still feel like pro wrestling is something that I want to do lah. And I feel happy doing this. Yeah, but the thing is, like right now, also trying to do more pro wrestling stuff. Yeah, because I
Hmm.
think the challenge for pro wrestling is like for me, definitely when I do like classes like PT classes or HIT classes, it's definitely easy for me because pro wrestling
Right.
training is way, 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 way tougher. But the thing is like compared to like MMA, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
MMA because people want to join because they feel like it's real and they can do like
Yeah.
keep fit and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Uh, but for pro wrestling conditioning, if you try with the statement, I think it's a different ball game as well. It's going to be really tiring. Yeah, I remember one of the toughest times I have was in Kyushu Pro Wrestling, man. Like
Uh-huh.
Tajiri,
Oh.
whoa, Tajiri really killed all of us, man. This old man, he comes in at 2 p.m., he starts drinking, and then like at 8 p.m., he'll be like, Andrew-san, come here, you better drink. I drank, oh my god, the next day, I tell you, he can do the shit that we do, and I'm like, whoa, I can tell you, like,
Wow.
I'm a very intense, like, HIT person, right? But when I do
Okay.
like Tajiri's training, man, like
Uh-huh.
I feel so humbled. Like really, man. It's just this 45 minutes. The whole time, right? We were like just keep looking at the clock, and then I'll be asking my classmate, like my teammate, I'm like, hey, what time is this going to finish? Like, it's so tiring. Yeah, because it's usually like our training is like 4 or 5 people only. So like the
Okay.
bumps that we have to take and stuff, man,
Okay.
it's so tough, man. Really, really like it trains your mental strength. Yeah.
Right. I mean, okay. So you're talking about like the Tajiri training and all that, right? So
Yeah.
even at I mean, you've been in this business since like 2011, 2012. Like you're still learning to improve yourself, like from
Yeah, I'm
year
still
to year.
learning. I'm still learning. I'm always open to learn. I just want to get more training as well because like I have a team of trainers and myself, and we are always like coaching the wrestlers. But like I feel like
Mm.
I want to get coached as well, man. I don't want to always be like, oh, giving us the same set of instructions like to train
Right.
them because I can see the mistakes and stuff. But I mean I do love my time in Kyushu because that's where I really get humbled and I learn new stuff. Yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
nice. So what was okay, maybe you have any like stories from besides the one that you talk about with Tajiri, like you were kind of struggling, finding it difficult. Any interesting, funny, fun stories from your time with Tajiri?
Oh, Tajiri, fun stories. Yeah. Oh, actually, there's a lot of fun stories with Tajiri. Tajiri is quite a, he's quite a nut job lah. But he's such a sweetheart lah. Like I learned so much from him.
Really?
Like yeah. Tajiri likes to fake with people. So like every time no really when you see him, people act like he doesn't know how to speak English. He just keep quiet, and then he will just like. But actually, he can speak really good English, but he will just just act like he can't speak English lah. I
Right.
mean, I got some stories about Tajiri, but I can't really say too much lah. Yeah, but
No worries.
yeah, it's such a great time lah. Like it's just this is just really fun times in Kyushu lah. It's just yeah. I think maybe one of the stories that I can say is like so usually like there are sponsors. There's a lot of sponsors in Japan. So when we are sponsored, like we go to like karaoke bars and sing and stuff like
Uh-huh.
this. So when
Yeah.
there's like the waitresses, the hostesses there, Tajiri will just keep
Mm.
quiet. And then when the hostesses leave the room, he'll be like, oh, he'll start singing and
Wow.
I got it on my phone lah, but I know I'm not gonna post that lah. So memories, I'll be like, Tajiri is such a good singer, man. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Who would have known?
Tajiri is a strong believer. Is a strong believer in character. His character
Ah.
is key. Yeah, that's what he told me. Like he told me like for me, right, like
Mm-hmm.
my character, people would just want me to do the yeah, and that's over. Because he said if that's over, that's it. You know, it is like this. And I was talking to
It's clear.
Dante as well, like some wrestlers, right? Like even the entrance is their shine. Just take for
Mm.
example,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Scotty Too Hotty. His entrance is his
Yeah.
shine. When you come up, people will be like, "Oh fuck, this is entrance. This is Scotty Too Hotty."
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not about the moves. Like you take a look at Scotty Too Hotty. He finishes the worm and then just the
Yep.
chop. The
Yep.
rocks the people's elbow. Boom.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah, but it's
Yep.
the character and then how you build it up and then how you hit it, and that's it. Yeah, so people can remember you by yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I also don't have the best memory, but when it comes to watching wrestling, like what I take away at the end of the day is really all these like key moments that happens during the match because it ties up to the character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the moments in the match is always so important. Like I always
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
the facial expressions, the look, like what you want to tell the fans, what story you want to tell the fans, like what you
Yeah.
want the fans to know, what you want the fans to experience, how you feel it. Like I mean, like I always think like to be a good baby face, right? You always need to get that sympathy from the crowd. Like I
Mm.
remember like a long time ago when I had the match with Locomotive, and then
Yeah.
my friend brought his son, and then his son
Uh-huh.
was like an 8-year-old kid, 9-year-old kid. And then when the son was watching me wrestling, and then the son
Uh-huh.
was like the son like cried because like that was a brutal match, I took a lot of nasty bumps.
Oh.
Yeah, because he felt the pain, he felt the pain.
Right.
Like it's
Oh.
always the facial expressions. You always need to like look
Yeah.
into a crowd. You like always need to make them feel like how much pain you feel. Yeah, so I think
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the most important thing. Yeah,
I
it's
see.
just gonna be natural inside the ring. Yeah, I just always feel like wrestling is really a very mental sport kind of thing.
Mm.
If your head
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
not clear, I think it's so hard to wrestle because you not only need to
Yeah.
wrestle, you not only need to wrestle with your head, you need to wrestle with your
Mm.
heart. So when you wrestle
Mhm.
with your heart, people can actually feel what you're feeling. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
about going through. It's not about going through the motions. You know what I mean? Yeah, like
that's true.
if you actually watch my match with Dante Traxxas, like
Yeah.
all the matches is from the heart, man. Like I can never
Oh, yeah.
replicate a match. I can never replicate a match like that because it's all feeling, it's the feeling
Mm.
of trust. Yeah, especially the last match that I had with him. It's sad because we wrestle in front of no audience lah. But if it's a full, I mean, if it's a full chow or like Toa Payoh, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a full house because me and him got that so much chemistry together. Whatever we
Yeah.
do, it's just magic. It's just fucking magic.
That last match was the during the COVID, right?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The holy shit was a
Yeah.
top rope power bomb. I'm like,
Yeah.
I never took it before, but I trust you, brother. I trust you with my life. Boom, shit, man. Yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I remember the matches when you had the one at Anjin in Changi, like the two of you went at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
maybe actually when we wrestled at Amchin in Changi, like Kenyan Seaman at the point of time, he was the talent development of
mhm.
WWE. He really impressed. He was really impressed with the both of us. Like, yeah, like he really liked the match. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Both,
Yeah.
both
And
of
you
both
went
of
for
our
the
characters.
tryout,
Yeah,
right?
he went
And
for
then,
tryouts. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I think at
yeah.
the point of time they wanted to do Asia tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I think plans changed, so they actually like did the Mae Young Classic instead. Yeah,
Oh, I see. So
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
happened. Okay, okay. Yeah, because at that point it was like they were going around Asia
yeah, they
and
want
then
to
they
do
were
a
scouting,
Asia
right?
tour. They want to do a Asia like
Yeah.
Asia Cruiserweight Classic. Yeah, that would be awesome,
I
man.
see.
Like that would be awesome,
Yeah.
man. That'd be the
Yeah,
dream,
it
man.
is.
Like you don't have to give me a contract. I just appear on the WWE thing. I'm happy already. Like lifelong dream. WWE, the back. Yeah,
Yeah, I
true,
mean, okay,
right?
but
Yeah, yeah.
how was your experience with the WWE tryout then?
The tryouts. I mean, I must say lah. Usually I'm a very good promo cutter and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
just like um my tryouts, I would say like whatever could go wrong went wrong. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I
For
see.
me, yeah. Like one day before the match, like there's
Mm-hmm.
actually like this short match kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just a hip toss. Boom!
Mm-hmm.
I blew my back. I couldn't walk. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I
oh
was
no.
surprised. I was like, fuck, what the fuck happened? Like, I had to take a
Yeah.
lot of bumps and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like they could see I was struggling lah, but I still wanted to do the drills lah. Then they say
Right.
no. They told me like,
Oh,
no, we can see what you can do inside the ring. We want you to rest so you can do that 5 minute match. Yeah.
right. Oh
So for
man.
my 5 minute match, we didn't get a chance to do the ring. I mean, we didn't get a chance to try out inside the ring or whatsoever. So
Okay.
like like I was working with a bigger guy lah. So
Uh-huh.
um apparently I didn't really trust my opponent that much. So because
Okay.
like yeah, wrestling's trust, right? Like I mean, like some of my moves are a
Yeah.
little bit complex, right? Like, I don't want to do like
Exactly.
a fuck up move, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like
yeah.
like the moves that I do, they're impressive. Is all the high flying stuff, that kind of shit. But if you can't try, then how? You know what I mean, right? So
Yeah. Yeah,
so I,
yeah.
I was pretty comfortable doing like my heel work lah. I was doing pretty comfortable
Mm.
doing heel because that's me. I like to be who I am. Yeah. So during that match, I was just doing a second rope drop kick, like when he was kneeling, and I pulled my
Okay.
groin. Can you believe it?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I pulled my groin. Like literally, right? When he Irish whipped me to the other
Uh-huh.
corner, I felt
Uh-huh.
like, oh my god! I felt like, why is there like
Oh
an extra
no.
movement there?
Oh
So
my
I
gosh.
literally pulled my groin. Okay, and then the funny story is, right? So after that media tryout, after that
Yeah.
tryout thing, after that match kind
Yeah.
of thing, right? We had this like media thing, right?
Okay.
So the
Okay.
media came in, and then like Coach Brookside was saying, "Oh, we got to do like the high knees and burpees." And you know what? With a put groin, I still did high knees and burpees. And when burpees, right? Groin touch the floor, groin touch
Yeah.
the floor. You stand
Oh
back up,
my
right?
god.
And then I say like,
Yeah.
"Hey, coach, I think there's something wrong with me. I'll not be a pussy." I'm like, "Okay, oh, sure, no problem. I'll just do it." So when I went back to the hotel room, right, I went to the
Uh-huh.
toilet. I went to the toilet. This is a true story. I told Traxxas was my roommate lah. So I remember to the hotel room. Then I'm like, I look down the toilet, pull out my pants. I'm like, Traxxas, come here. I'm not. I need to show you something. I really need to show you something. I really need to show you something. I'm
Oh
not
my
gay, but I need
god.
to show you something. And, and then can you imagine? It became like the size of a grapefruit and
Oh
swollen, like
my
blue
gosh.
black. Yeah. So I really put my groin. It's
On the line.
terrible. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, so
Wow. But
I mean
yeah.
the trials, I think it was okay. Like what they told me, like what you call this, Coach Bloom put me aside.
Mm.
He told me
Mm.
like why they didn't give me the contract was because like he asked me how many matches I have. He told me
Mm.
like he knows I can work inside the ring. I can work in the ring really
Mm-hmm.
well, but he
Mm-hmm.
told me like the psychology is not what they're looking for. They want me to
Oh,
work
okay.
more on my psychology. Yeah, but they say like if you have a cruiserweight tournament or something, I'll definitely put your head in. Yeah. But he gave me his email lah. But been sending him some stuff, but there's
Mm.
no reply. I try a few times, there's no reply, then it's okay lah. Never mind. I think he's just being polite. But
Okay.
I mean, at least he gave me a reason. I mean, he put me aside. He gave me a reason, so that's something.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
Okay.
mean,
So
for me, I feel like actually like in WWE,
yeah.
if they can teach you they can make anybody a star. Like the style they can teach you, no an issue. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
I can say like the person that got signed was my opponent. Yeah, but he got released lah. He got released.
Oh, is
So
it? Okay.
yeah. He's the Roger the Tian. I can't remember. He's the Rufum. I think he made a few matches. Then he got released.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. WWE is like, it's a huge, huge, huge company. There's only so many spots, and I think it's fine that they are looking for a specific thing,
No,
right? And
I mean on the business side of things, I think it's definitely, because if the company is gonna pay like $10,000 for a visa, they'll definitely want to
mhm.
make sure that like it's worth their money as well, lah.
Besides wrestling, you're also a head coach.
Yep.
So you train, like you mentioned earlier, like you train the wrestlers in SPW, right?
Yep. That's what I
So
do.
yeah, so maybe you can explain more about how like there's a training school in SPW.
Yeah, I mean, we have a training school in SPW. So, like in SPW training school, what we usually do is like we go through like the basic conditioning first. I mean, the
Mm,
conditioning that I've adapted from Kyushu Pro-Wrestling. And then, of course, like we learn the basic moves and stuff. And then, of course, like psychology behind each sport. And of course, like piecing up how to actually plan inside a match. And of course, we do
mm-hmm,
like character development as well. Like we see
mm-hmm.
what's the best character fit for the individual. Yeah.
Right. So is this like the coaching? I guess the syllabus. Like, is it something that you came up with?
Yeah, it's something that I came out with, and of course, I discussed with my trainers as well to see what's best for everyone.
So the trainers are also SPW wrestlers, or
Yeah, the
yeah.
trainers are all
Okay.
SPW wrestlers, so the Horrors and Aiden Rex. Yeah.
Ah, nice. Okay. So I've heard that like over the years that you have international guests and they also hold seminars, like they teach
Hmm.
also.
Yep,
Yeah.
of
So
course. Yeah.
yeah. So how do you get these international guests to come on and also teach, your guys?
I don't know, man. It's all connections. Like I'm a man with a lot of connections. I guess like when you wrestle around the world, you meet people, and then like you're booked on the same show of these big international stars. Now
Mm-hmm.
like word of mouth gets around. The wrestling industry actually is pretty small. So like if you actually like like I think like how I got in contact with Samurai Del Sol was because Fasad's a friend of Samurai Del
Uh-huh.
Sol, and at that point of time was wrestling in Japan, and then
Ah,
I was in Japan, and then like
okay.
Faisal was telling somebody else, so hey, you should hit Andrew up, because he's in
Uh-huh.
Japan. Yeah, but at the
Uh-huh.
point of time when he was in Tokyo, I was in Kyushu. So like I didn't want to take a flight out lah, but so we chatted on Instagram, and yeah, I managed to get a booking here and there. Yeah. And then like
Nice.
for Pete Dunne is basically like before he became like the bruiserweight, he was
Mm-hmm.
wrestling in Hong Kong. Yeah,
Mm.
so was on Holun's show. So yeah, like man, when I first saw him, the only thing I remember was his finisher. I'm like, oh man, his finisher is a dope finisher lah. So yeah, so really, when we exchange IGs and stuff, and then yeah, it's just about connections at the right place, at the right time. Bring down, come to Singapore. That's it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's cool that like SPW shows like you get to not just watch like the local wrestlers, but also like international where it's like your favorites. Like they're not just any names; they're also big names. Like when you mentioned like Samurai Del Sol, and then there's Pete Dunne, like, and then you had Kenny Omega that time.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. I think it's such a treat for the Singapore fans, like to see all these in one roof. Like
Yeah.
yeah. Like, is
I
that
mean,
something that you've always envisioned SPW to do?
yeah, of course, of course. I always envision like to have like international wrestlers wrestling with local wrestlers as well, because I think like the international wrestlers will definitely draw and like bring like the more like mainstream fans to actually watch and
Yeah,
support the independent wrestling. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So, like you've worked with a lot of international wrestlers. You've brought in all those people, the big names. Am I right to say that there's gonna be like an anniversary show sometime this year,
Yes, of
or
course,
any big one?
definitely there'll be an anniversary show lah, no matter what. Yeah.
Any surprises in the works in terms of?
Still discussing lah, still discussing. Let me just plan lah to see
Okay,
who
cool,
will be a
cool.
good draw to bring down. Yeah.
Cool, understandable. What about okay? So we talked about a little bit about Dante Chen Trexus, right?
Yep.
Like, you still keep in contact with him?
Yeah, yeah, I do still keep in contact with him. Yeah, it's a close friend of mine, definitely.
Nice. So Do you think like there's a chance, like, in the future he might come down and, I don't know, make an
You never know,
appearance?
like in pro wrestling, always expect the unexpected. You never know, one day he might actually turn up in the SPW arena, maybe have a rematch with me again.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that would be really cool. Like, you guys go way back. He was also your, protege, right?
Mm.
Yeah, onslaught. Like, that's a pretty cool throwback to the OG SPW days. Yeah. So okay. So besides being a wrestler, head coach, you also book. Like you mentioned, how you book all these international guests. Like, is there something? Maybe you can explain a little bit more. Like, what do bookers do in terms of Singaporean context? Is there a
What
difference?
what do bookers do? I mean, like for me,
Mm.
it's always about thinking like actually draw and what will actually like bring the fans down to actually want to watch the show. And of
Right.
course, like for pro wrestling event, it's actually like I feel like it's a circus. So like every
Mm.
match got to be different. There's like
Right.
a little bit of some match could be comedy, some match like has a tag team match, some match like be a
Right.
little bit extremes, a bit of drama here and there. So it's like you see like how like WWE does it. That's why they
Mm-hmm.
reach very good bookings. Like it's like a whole show. It's like a sitcom. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
every match can cater to someone. Every wrestler can cater to someone that they can relate to. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody is different. Yeah, for me. Yeah.
So, is there maybe like something more specific than that? Like, instead of, I mean, you mentioned like, oh, as long as the guy, the wrestler draws. Is there anything else that you look for in particular? No.
Um, I think it's just a story. Of course, like for me,
Okay.
I'm one of a guy that always want to see like athleticism. Like I want to see
Mm.
the competitiveness. Like I
Mm-hmm.
always want to simulate like it's a real fight. Like what I mean. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. So I also want to ask about how, like, SPW currently only has one active female talent, and I know that you guys SPW did have like a women's only show, the Ladies' Night.
Oh yeah, that was quite a special show. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
quite a
will there
special show.
be a second one in the
You never
future?
know lah. I might want to do a ladies' night too again. Yeah, but of course I have to see whether the budget it's within my budget lah. So yeah, because
Okay.
you need to fly down the female wrestlers as well,
Yeah.
right? They're all from different
Yeah.
countries and stuff. Yeah.
Right. But okay, in your personal opinion, like, do you think there's some sort of like, why is there still very few female wrestlers in Singapore?
I think pro wrestling is tough. Pro wrestling is not as easy as it seems. Like I
Uh-huh.
mean, like no one want to like actually like take a bump, right? Like I mean, for the ladies, it's quite painful. Like now I feel
Mm,
like it's the exposure of the sport. Like I
mm,
feel like like back in the old days, back in my days, like pro wrestling was always on TV, so that's why like
yeah,
people like me like
yeah,
watch wrestling. I'm like,
yeah,
I gotta be a pro wrestler. I want to be a pro wrestler. That's like rock and
yeah,
roll lifestyle.
yeah.
The glitz and glamour and stuff. Yeah, but nowadays like you don't even watch pro wrestling on free TV. So like all
Mm.
the like the new generation of people will be like, what's pro wrestling? It's fake. Yeah,
Do
I'm
you still
serious.
get
I
that?
think it's yeah. They still get that. Yeah. But
Oh,
I
okay.
think there was one time it was quite cool. Like I remember I was coming down from Orchard, and there's I think Orchard there was up 11. There was like some kids. I was a little bit drunk. Was walking around with two ladies, and I started doing my Ric Flair rant and stuff like that. And then suddenly the guy was like, "Hey, bro, are you the statement?" And then like, "Oh yeah, we came to your shows and stuff." I'm like, "Oh really, you guys? Oh
Nice.
okay. You got my next show. Are you gonna come and watch? Come and support. Give you some discount. The ringside tickets. Oh no, we cannot afford. We can get the general tickets." I'm like, "Okay, no problem. Come and see the show. It's fine. No worries." Yeah, but I mean, it's cool. Like, I mean, I still transcend, into like the younger generation. That's what I want to do. Still like impart the pro wrestling culture to the younger kids. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so okay, speaking of, like, the culture, like trying to promote, like, I know you do a lot of like collaborations. Like, at one point there was a
Yeah.
lot of like collaborations with other YouTubers and stuff like that. And then you also been involved in a lot of projects. Like you did that TV show, kids show called My Buddy Bone Masher.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, I
how's
did
that?
that. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So, yeah, the point of time, because actually that project was actually commissioned from like a student project. So
Uh-huh.
apparently it was good. Apparently it was good. So they wanted to make it to like to air on MediaCorp. So apparently there's a production house that actually picked it up, and then
Yeah.
yeah, they decided to get me as the consultant and then the trainer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and actually like they ran my ring and stuff like that. So they
Yeah.
actually like they wanted me to do like to just like say some lines for that character. So actually like I sent them the lines, and then
Uh,
apparently like they sent it to MediaCorp, and then like
uh,
MediaCorp was saying like what do you even need? What do you even need to cast the guy? Like this is the guy. This is the exact guy that we are looking for.
oh, so cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool, lah. It's pretty cool, yeah. But I mean, I didn't want to really promote the show because
Right.
apparently at that point of time there was like some incidents that happened, and I felt a little bit robbed, lah, because
Oh,
this pretty maga, got censored and become an
oh,
animated face, lah. And then
yeah, yeah, I saw.
I didn't get credited for it, lah. And apparently like. Yeah, yeah, I didn't get credited for it. So yeah, yeah, because that to me is an insult. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
because no matter what I do, it's still my hard work. So no matter what I do, I'm
yeah.
still
I mean,
professional on set. I'm still professional on set, and I believe that my facial expressions are so on point, and like I really put in everything that I've got. Like whatever they want me to do, like I just
uh,
do it. Like if they want me more crazy, I just go crazy. Like whatever you
yeah,
want, I do, like, because
yeah.
I listen to the director, because the director
Mm,
is the one that you got to listen to. Like. So
mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just not fair. Like to me, I still right now I still hold on to a grudge, but yeah, so that's why I don't
Oh,
promote. I still don't promote the show. Like I mean, like I mean, I'm not being arrogant or what, but like some actors have been like working around in the business for such a long time, but they don't even get
yeah,
like they don't get a main role. But me, I'm not even a trained actor, but like
yeah.
I just do this, and I got a episode like actually like it should be like featuring the kid and me, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry I brought it up. I didn't know that.
It's fine. It's fine. No worries. Right now, I'm just like, just saying whatever I need to say, lah. But yeah, I mean, I've got no animosity against them, but I just feel that it's just unfair on
Yeah,
how the way they treat me. But I mean, business is just business, lah.
right,
Life is just life. So you just get on
right.
with it and suck it up, lah. Yeah.
Did they credit at least SPW?
Uh, I think they did credit SPW, yeah, but they didn't credit me, lah. So yeah, I'm a ghost. I'm a
Oh
ghost. I'm always a
man.
ghost.
Oh
I'm always a
man.
ghost. Yeah, no
I'm
worries.
sorry to hear
Yeah,
that.
that could be
Well,
my big break. Like doing the Rock Johnson, went to Hollywood, maybe the statement, to Hollywood.
hey, yeah,
Yeah,
why
it's not
not?
Hollywood. Maybe MediaCorp. That's it. Local channel. It's fine. No worries. Yes.
Do you
I
still
don't.
do this kind of like acting appearances and stuff like that?
Yeah, for me, I don't like to like reach out to people. If like people want to get me on board, I'll do it. Yeah, like all
Mm.
kinds of roles, I'm cool with it. Like I think like one time during COVID, there was no wrestling, so I was like working with Tropic Monsters, and then
Ah, yeah,
I
yeah.
came they came out with the Statement Flex Eye character kind of thing, and I think it was a huge hit, man. Like I think like
Okay.
kids. Like younger kids, like
Yeah.
they remember me for that. But I'm like, I'm like, man, I'm not a comedian, man. I'm a pro wrestler. This is what I do. I really kick ass inside the ring. You know what I mean? But
Right.
I mean, I'm just versatile. Like like take a look
Mm.
at The Rock. Like, The Rock's a
Yeah.
very versatile character. He
Yeah.
can do comedy. He can be a serious guy. He can be like a superhero. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Mm.
not one dimension. Because as
Yeah.
a pro wrestler, you don't have to be one dimension. You got to think out of the box and see what is best for the show and what's best for the like what the promoter wants. So like a promoter is like the director of the card, right? So yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
listen,
Yeah.
yeah, just listen to your boss. That's it. Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Okay. Do you have any external projects like that currently?
Extra projects, no,
Or
not at the
just
moment.
just focusing on SPW lah for now?
Yeah, for
Right
now,
now.
yeah. But I mean, like, if
Okay.
any of the YouTube channels want to get me, if they think like the statement has a value to the channel, which I feel like I have, then of course, like they can feel free to get me, lah. No problem. Lah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, you have experience in so many different areas over the years, so why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So, let's see. What else can we talk about? Okay. So, all right. So, what are your plans and dreams for SPW? Since you've SPW has been around for so long. Like, what is next that you want to accomplish?
I definitely want to make the company bigger. I definitely want to. I mean, the dream is definitely a indoor stadium, lah. But that's a very hard
Oh, yeah.
dream, lah. But I try to work it out as hard as possible.
Right.
Um, just to have more mainstream attention on
Mm,
SPW.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want like channels, on Channel 5, like doing pro
Right.
wrestling and stuff. Yeah, actually, like back in the days, actually, Channel 5 actually reached out to us, MediaCorp reached out
Okay.
to us. They wanted to do like, how do I say, like comedy wrestling.
Okay.
Comedy wrestling, but each episode there's a different guest coming down on board. So, like, they will get comedians. Lah. So, apparently, the news, yeah, the news, like there was this comedy
The
episode called The
news, is
News.
it?
Yeah, they wanted to do
Okay. Mm.
the news, NOSE. Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah, I
Yep.
met up the guy, but apparently like change of management, so the show didn't go through. So yeah, if
Oh,
not, that
I
would be
see.
a big hit. Yeah, they wanted to film at our training center and stuff. Yeah.
Speaking of pitching for TV series, I actually, I mean, if you didn't know, I actually have a TV production background. So I did one of my first full time job was actually doing TV producing. So I actually did try to pitch for like a pro wrestling team show.
Mm.
And to be honest, it's pretty similar to my buddy Bone Masher. It's also a kids one, but yeah, like you said, the perception of pro wrestling is still not very mainstream. It still seems like a little bit like is a maybe kind of thing. Yeah, but I mean, imagine that. Like, imagine if you
Yeah,
could have done that, right? Yeah, like I
yeah,
mean, personally,
that'll be
like
good.
this is what LCWC is about. This is why I come back to. I really want to help to promote Singapore wrestling to the mainstream media and all that. Yeah, so hopefully I'm doing my part in that, and
Yeah,
then
thank you so
can
much.
change.
Good job, man.
We can change people's perspective together. You know. But
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so speaking
definitely.
of perspective, right? Like after you do the TV show and you mentioned like you did the whatever that you were involved in, like do you think there is a change a little bit at least in people's perspective about pro wrestling? Like has
Yeah,
it
I
changed at
mean,
all?
yeah, I feel like there's more attention to pro wrestling right now, with especially like when the Dante Chen is in WWE. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the thing that irks me is that the haters are always saying like
Oh
shit and
yeah.
stuff like that. But like I mean, they don't even know how much pain we put ourselves through. Like
Yeah.
they don't even put in the effort. You know what I mean? Like pro
Mm-hmm.
wrestling is not only physically draining, it's mentally draining. It takes a toll. There's so much
Yeah.
sacrifices to be made. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I mean,
it's
doing
really something that is
wrestling.
from our passion, man. Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the matches itself, like people think it's just you guys just show up and wrestle, do whatever moves, but actually a lot of things are actually called on the spot, right? Like you have to
Uh,
know.
I mean, I feel like in wrestling, like as a wrestler, I think you're like a pilot. I
Right.
always relate to that because you need to multitask. Like feel, protect, make sure this reaction is good or if not good, move on to the next spot. Like you really need to feel the energy. Like, there's a lot of elements involved in pro wrestling. It's not as easy as it seems. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Everyone thinks
think
like,
that's
so, oh shit, it's just fun and games, just fun and games, just take some bumps and stuff. I mean, just do it, lah.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, I think people forget that part of being a wrestler, like that part of performing a match. Like there's a lot of things going on in the ring itself. And people don't
It's a lot.
realize that, a lot of things are like you need to be alert to what's happening in the ring, then you can because I've spoken to other wrestlers before like Butcher Man and all that, like they listen to the crowd during the match, and sometimes things might actually maybe deviate a little bit from the plan. Is that, I
Mm.
mean, is that how it is?
Yeah, you just gotta feel the crowd, like what the crowd wants, you just do it again. But I mean, if it's working, why not? I mean, you're just gonna feel what's good. Wrestling is about the feeling. Like it's really like the feeling to feel. Like you feel the emotions in the crowd, then how you feed up the emotions to the crowd, and how to make it better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's a two-way street lah. When you watch a wrestling match, like the wrestlers give, you also got to give them back something,
Yeah,
and then it keeps going that way, right?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
a two-way street. Takes two hands to clap,
exactly. Yeah. Okay, so all right, so let's talk about the future of SPW. Like you head coach, you train the guys, and what are your thoughts on the current members? And since you're working with the Midnight Bastards, right? You're taking on
Yeah,
like one of the newest tag teams in Singapore. So what
yeah.
are your thoughts on the upcoming gen?
I think upcoming gen is very promising. Like the Midnight Bastards, Blade, Iman, they're really good, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think there's so much potential in them. I mean, of course, CBK as well. Sorry, uh, they are very hungry. They're very hungry to learn, and they're always adventurous and try out new things.
Yeah,
So they like to go out of the box. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's
To
nice
always
to
try
see.
to improve and try to get better. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So, what of your maybe what hopes do you have for them?
I
Anything?
certainly hope that they can wrestle around Southeast Asia first, and of course, like
Mm,
eventually, like if they make the jump to if they want to go off the balls, go to UK or go to America. Yeah, I mean
yeah,
the sky's the limit for them, lah. Yeah, so I wish them all the best. Yeah, but I mean I'm glad that they are here with SPW and they're training in my school. Yeah.
cool. All right. So, any maybe advice or tips for someone who is, like maybe still starting out their pro wrestling career, or maybe just thinking about joining, pro wrestling?
I,
What
I,
advice
I
do you have?
think I think it's just making the first step to actually want to do pro wrestling. Like if you never try, you never know. If it works out for you, it works out for you. Yeah, but at least you give it a try.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like to me, like I've been doing this for 12 years. Sometimes I still ask myself, like, hey, why am I still doing this? But I don't know, man. Somehow or other, when you just when you walk out the curtain, like this feeling, this surge of adrenaline is something that is remarkable. Like you feel like you're a star in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like it's that's what you're meant to do. Like, you
Right.
want to do that,
Right.
yeah, with all your heart. Yeah, and especially
Yeah.
like the ability to actually like capture the emotions of the
Mm-hmm.
fans, like how you make the fans feel what you're feeling.
Uh-huh.
It's and if you can make the fans like say like you made my day, having a very shitty day, and then like you suddenly come and watch my show, and then like you bring your spirits up, like wow, I mean it's drop my whole down, like thank you lah, thank you so much, like what we do we can bring joy to you, yeah,
That's what you live for, right?
I guess so lah, making others people happy, I guess, I don't know, yeah.
I mean, you enjoy doing that, and it really shows. Like every match that you put out, I can feel your passion. So good job to you.
Thank
So
you.
okay, so one last question.
Yeah.
Maybe on personal note, like, is there something that you haven't accomplished yet but you hope to? Like whatever, anything else that's that you wanna share.
I haven't accomplished it. There's a lot of things I haven't accomplished yet, but I'm
Okay,
still
okay.
trying to do what I do best. I live day
Mm-hmm.
by day. I just want to be happy, because you never know what can happen the next day. You never know. Maybe Friday could be my last match, but if it's my last match, then I'm happy talking to you, lah. But you know, I just wanna do my best, like every single time, lah. I just wanna put my heart and soul. No matter like I feel like no matter whatever personal issues you have in your life, but once you
Mm-hmm.
stand up inside the ring, you gotta be professional. You just gotta be that character. You just gotta be the statement. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because that's what the fan wants to see you. Right? Yeah,
All
the fans
right.
want to see. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on this podcast. It was so great to talk to you, all your stories and all your struggles and the challenges that you've overcome, and the contributions that you and the SPW guys have done over the years. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you so much, Nina. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah, you gotta do that, man. You gotta do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the
How
money maker,
many
baby.
years? How many? Okay, when did you start doing that thing? I cannot remember exactly.
Oh, actually, I don't know.
It wasn't from the start, right? You started at like a
It's
certain
very
point.
organic. Yeah, I think 20,
Yeah.
2015. I don't know, 2015. I don't know, but it's still working lah. Just do it lah. So yeah,
Yeah. I
why
mean
not, right? If it
it's
works, it
it's
works lah.
Andrew. Yeah, it's Andrew Tang. Just like
Yeah.
you say that and you gotta do that thing.
Everybody, Andrew Tang is
All
like,
right.
yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.